So before we begin, we just want to let you know this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. There's a lot of content to cover for this particular piece, and it's probably going to be one of our longer videos. Hey YouTube fans, welcome back. As you can see, what we have here is a bunch of Rockwell insulation. This is R15, and we just obviously ordered a big pallet from Lowe's. What we did from there, we brought it into the building. We started to insulate using the Rockwell, and of course following back across that with Tyvek. We know that Tyvek's typically for the outside, but we were doing this to keep the dust down from the Rockwell insulation as we did the install. And it kind of worked out pretty good, especially since we're going to be doing a lot with the walls. You see here as we're putting the actual Rockwell up and then the Tyvek over that. This seemed to be a really good method for trying to keep control of all the dust and everything else. So what you see here is our first attempt at putting together the panel in a temporary mode so that we can have lighting, test our well, and understand a little bit more about the electrical system. When you're doing this, we were running this off of a generator, so none of this is actually connected to an electrical grid, and we were very careful in the process. So this is the wiring diagram for what we put together for building 1. It's mostly recessing lights and some light switches and electrical outlets. If you want to know more about how these panels are set up for your main breaker panels, I'm going to put a link in the description, so look there, and it'll take you directly to the group where they are for home inspectors, and these are the things that they're understanding and looking for. So just look there for your answers, and of course feel free to get in touch with your local inspector or electrician to understand more. So in order to reduce the sound effect when I would take steps going across the floor, we put down this foam insulation that we also picked up from Lowe's, and then of course put zip system over top of it, which absolutely worked on removing the sound effects of the steps. And then we of course used the remaining portions of the Tyvek wrap and finished this floor out so that we could have some structure underneath that we could move forward with. So what we used on the walls was tongue and groove that we got from Lowe's. It's all 1/2-inch wood, pine, and when we had a lot of struggles trying to get wood that was going to be the same size every time we purchased. And we purchased paycheck to paycheck on these. So just keep that in mind. If you go somewhere, pick up from an actual source that can keep one set of wood. But it did turn out very, very beautiful. So for the window frame, we took pieces of oak board and joined them together to create the actual overall frame. And of course we did the sides and of course a base plate here for a window seal. And from here we took a little bit further, but we kept moving with the oak and created a window frame which looks very nice like this. Let me know what you think about that. What we decided to do over here was, if you look in most sheds, they have these boards that go all the way across as part of the structure for moving them to keep the walls from shifting. And so we decided to put some more additional framing in there and make it so that we could mount a television on it and put an electrical outlet, as you see over there. And it works really, really good, and it's very stable. So if you're looking for a wall to do something like that with, it's pretty good. We then painted all of the wood boards at the top of the building, and we added recessed lighting, which is all LED. As we were thinking that each item that we added would be designed for energy efficiency. So we did go with this beautiful brown color to give an accent to the actual ceiling so that it had some character to it. And how we did the recessed lighting, we had to add additional structures in underneath here so that the boards on the bottom could be nailed to that and be held up. And we added wire going across this top area under there so that we could create our recessed lighting as well. And this look here, looks like we have a lot of stuff here, but you can see that board that's at the top, which was used to create that overhead structure for the TV, which is going to be seen right here. Really nice and works very well. In this image, you can see the shelf that we're building. We basically put a nice board on the top and the bottom and then used a router to trim the edges. And from there, we added a face plate, which did this. Now, we recognize that this could have been a really nice piece if we could have had a longer piece of wood, but it looks very nice even though it was two different boards and we joined them together. We actually did the same thing in the front of the building, and it looks quite nice. Here's the image of what this looks like before we put the flooring in. For our flooring, we decided to go with a vinyl flooring for multiple reasons. One, not being able to get a hold of anybody to do any installs of anything else, and we ended up doing this one ourselves anyways. So some of the pieces that I would recommend if you're going to put down a vinyl floor, make sure you put down a surface that's nice and flat all the way across in a nice smooth surface before you put your glue and your vinyl down. And here's what the final flooring looks like. And we are going to go ahead and we're going to use wood for our baseboards going all the way around the building on the inside, and we just decided to go with the same color that was used above. Well, that'll be all we have for this particular video. We look forward to seeing you in our next series of videos about setting up solar and other items. Thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon to receive notifications for new videos.